Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Seema, Assistant Professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering from Kaveri Institute of Technology, Mandya. Today in this session, I am going to explain you about a primitive data type. So we know that the data type specifies the different sizes and values that can be stored in the variables. So in order to store a particular value for a variables, or in order to determine the different sizes of a particular data or a particular variable, we need these data types. So in case of a data types, we have a two different types. So the data types in Java can be of two different categories. One is with primitive data type and another one is with non-primitive data type. Today in this session, I am going to explain you about primitive data types. Later in the upcoming session, we'll discuss with non-primitive data types. So let's start with the primitive data types. So in Java programming languages, this primitive data types acts as a building blocks for data manipulation. So whenever I called as primitive data types in case of a Java programming languages, it acts as a building blocks. It acts as a building blocks of data manipulation. So whenever I say about a primitive data types in case of Java programming languages, it acts as a building blocks for data manipulation. So the primitive data types acts as a building blocks for data manipulation in case of Java programming. So basically these primitive data types in Java will be of 8 different data types. One is a byte, short, int, long, char, float, double, as well as a boolean. So these are the 8 different types of primitive data type. That is a byte data type, short data type, int data type, long data type, char data type, float, double data type, as well as a boolean data type. So these all 8 different primitive data types are referred as a simple data types. So these are the most basic types of data. So whatever I have said about the 8 primitive data types, these 8 primitive data types are also called as a basic data types. So these 8 primitive data types are also called as a basic data types, or it is also referred as a simple types or basic data types. So whenever I say about a primitive data types, it acts as a building blocks of data manipulation in case of Java programming. So Java defines 8 different primitive types of data that are byte, short, int, long, char, float, double, as well as a boolean. So these 8 different primitive types of data is referred as a simple types of data, or it is also called as a basic data types. So these 8 primitive data types are categorized under 4 different groups, and they are integer data type, floating point data types, character data type, as well as a boolean data type. So these 8 different primitive data types are categorized by using these 4 types of data types. So let's discuss with each and every types of data type in detail. So first we have an integer data type. So what actually an integer data type do mean? So integer, the name itself says the integer value. So integer data type holds a whole number without any fractional value. So without having any fractional values, this integer data type will hold a whole number without having any fractional points or without having any fractional values. So it can hold the whole numbers. For example, 196, it's a positive numbers, and minus 52, it's a negative integers, as well as a 4036. So these kinds of values are stored in case of a integer type. So it stores the whole number as well as a positive integer or negative integers, or without having any decimal points. So these are the different types of values that can be stored in case of integer data types. So this integer data type supports 4 different types of primitive data types and are byte, short, int, as well as a long. So here this tabular column will give a brief description about the 4 different types of data type that's supported by the integer kind of data. The very first one is byte. So as the name itself suggests, a byte is used for any signed integer. So as I said, this integer is used for the whole number. So by using this byte, this data type can store the all numbers, which is ranges from -27 to 27 minus 1 or -28 to 127. So this data type byte can store the whole numbers from the range -28 to 127 or between -27 to -26. So this can be used instead of int or other integer types in order to save the memory. So instead of int, if I use of byte, so it is also specifies the integer type of memory, but it is specified in terms of byte. So if I specify byte, then it is considered that it stores a signed integer value. So it stores the size of 8-bit or 1 byte. So the byte will store the variables or a value which is of a size 8-bit or 1 byte. So the next is short. So this data type can also store the whole numbers, which will have the ranges between -32,768 to +32,767, and it is of a size 16-bit or 2 byte. It eventually stores the signed integer, and the default value for all the different types of integer data types are 0. So the default values are 0. So moving ahead, we have an int. So this int data type, whenever we create a value with numeric values, so in order to specify a numeric value of any data type, we'll go with int. So in order to specify the numerical value, so it will use a 32-bit or 4 byte. So next we have a long. So it will takes a long integer value. So this is how the ranges of a long data type will taken up. So the size of a long is about 64-bit or 8 bytes. So these are the 4 different data types which are supported by integer. These are the 4 different data types which are supported by integers. So whenever I say about a long, the value whichever we need to specify, or the value which we need to assign with respect to L, long will be ended with L. So the value will be ended with L. For example, if I want to specify the long, for example, long, my number is equals to, if I want to give my number as something 888, then this number should end with capital letter L in order to show that it is a long integer. So this is how we are gonna declare this long data type. So next we have a floating point numbers. So we know that the floating point is nothing but a fractional numbers. So it is used to hold the whole numbers which containing fractional parts. So the number or a numeric which consists of a floating point numbers. So we need to use this floating point type whenever we need a number with a decimal point. So whenever we need to use a number with a decimal point. So whenever we need to use a number with decimal point, at such cases we'll go with this floating point numbers. So this floating point number is used to hold the whole numbers which are containing a fractional part. So which are containing the fractional part. So this is how the example will looks like. So 36.7, for here the number with decimal point indicate a floating point values. Here the number 36.74. Here we have a numbers with decimal point. So it indicates a floating point numbers. Here I also have a negative floating point numbers with the 23.95. Here I have a numbers with float decimal point. So this is how we're gonna represent the floating point numbers. So these are also known as a rational numbers. These floating point numbers are also known as a rational numbers. So there are of two different types of floating point storage in case of a Java programming, and they are of float as well as a double. So when I say about a float, it holds a whole number containing fractional part, but it is used for a single precision values. So float is eventually used for single precision values. So what do you mean by a single precision? In a sense, the value or the value after the decimal point, will be around 6 or 7 decimal point. It will be around 6 or 7, or say sometimes it is 8. It is 6 to 8 decimal points. So the value of the float, if I say about a float, then it will ends with the value which after the decimal point, the float is only, so float is only consists of 6 to 8 digits or 8 decimal digits, 6 to 8 decimal digits after the decimal point. So if in case of a single precision, this float will contain only about 6 to 8 digits after the decimal point. So when I say about a double, it is used for a double precision value. So when I say about a double, it is used for a double precision value. So where the precision is of about 15 digits. So here it will have a 15 digits or 15 decimals after the decimal point. So in case of a double, it is 15 digits after the decimal point. So the size of a floating point or the size of a single precision value is 32-bit or 4 bytes, whereas for double it is 64 bits or 8 bytes. So when compared with floats and double, it is safer to use double for calculation purposes. So double is very safer in order for any calculation or any computation purposes. So these are the two different data types which comes under floating point numbers, that are a float as well as a double. So next we have characters. So as we know that characters is used to store the character constants in a memory. So it is usually represented by char. So it is usually represented by char. So char is used to represent or used to store the character constants in a memory. So char is used to store the character constants in a particular memory location. So next, so this char consumes a size of 2 bytes but can hold only a single character. So for each and every single characters, it will have a size of 2 bytes. Since it will have a 2 bytes of size, it can only holds a single character. So for each and every single character, it will have allocated a size of 2 bytes. So each and every character will allocate the size of 2 bytes in case of a char data types. So this is a char, so which is under character data type. So here we'll have the size of the char will ranges from 6-bit or 2 bytes. So 2 bytes of memory is allocated for each and every single characters. For a single individual characters, it will allocate a 2 bytes of memory, and ranges will start from 0 to 215. So this is the range, and this char will contain the Unicode unsigned characters. So it will contain a Unicode unsigned characters. So next we have a Boolean. So what we know about a Boolean is it's a condition, or it's a type of a condition which is used to say whether the given condition is true or not. So Boolean type is used to test a particular condition during a program execution. So it can take a value, two different values. One is a true or another one is a false. So eventually we'll specify this boolean values in two different things, either by specifying a 0 and 1, 0 or 1, or it is also specified by yes or no. So by using this, also by using these two different entities also, we're gonna represent the boolean conditions or the boolean values. So these are denoted by the keyword boolean and is consumes about 1 byte of storage. So it will consumes about 1 byte of storage. So each and every boolean value, each and every boolean variable will consist of 1 byte of storage. So this is a boolean. It contains a value of either true or false. If default it is the false, then it will hold a size of 1 bit for a characters. The ranges will start from either the given condition is true or the given condition is false. So this is about a boolean data type, which will hold a primitive data type called boolean. So this is all about the different primitive data types in a Java programming languages. Thank you.